Hello, welcome back to the channel. In this video I want to talk about first aid kits and first aid kit for long distance camp trips. So hiking in the mountains, camping out for several nights in a row, and so you have to carry everything on your back, and that's what I have here is my first aid kit that I think will cover all of my needs for 3 or 4 nights camping in the backcountry, as they call it. We don't really have that in Ireland where I live. We don't have backcountry. Everything is fairly like close by, but you could be 4 or 5 hours away from a main road or some help, and it could be some awkward hour of the day or night, and if you're not able to rescue yourself, you might not be able to get a hold of anyone. So anyway, first aid kit should be essential kit along with your food and your shelter and your fire stuff. First aid kit. So this is my one. I've just really put it together for 2025. I've had old ones where I kind of buy a little kit pre-prepared, and like I've probably have 3 or 4 of them around the house, and they all kind of get used up. All the useful stuff gets used up and all the other stuff just sits there. So I just didn't want to go and purchase another one. I knew what I needed, and I knew what I already have a load of in stock. So and also I wanted to be weight conscious and have the, like as I just said, have the little bits that I know I'll use every time I go camping. So that's my main focus of this is having something that is the weight is very as low as possible. So we'll weigh it now, and this will sit in the bottom of my backpack when I go camping next, and hopefully for all the camping trips I do throughout the summer, and hopefully I'll be doing some bike packing and some camping in Europe and stuff like that. And I have a second channel where I talk about my camping trips and stuff like that, which I will link in the description below. Adventure with Eileen is the name of that channel, and I like to explore the local area around me in the west of Ireland and look at all the like 5,000-year-old monuments and such like that and further afield, whatever we come across. But for today I'm going to show you the contents of this camping first aid kit, and I want to see what you think of it, and I hope it gives you some ideas for your own first aid kit for if you go hiking or camping. So let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to do was show you the weight of it. I haven't actually weighed it myself, so I'm guessing it's like half a kilo, 500 grams. So I pulled out my little digital weighing scales. Hang on, will it turn on? Put it a bit closer to you. 391 grams. So there we go. Okay, so first let's talk about the bag. I liked this bag. I picked it. It does not have the first aid symbol on it, but it isn't. It is a personal first aid kit, so I know what's in it. I'll probably put some sort of mark on it at some point, but I really like this bag. I just got it in a discount store for like €1. I liked it because of the opening. It just sits open like that. You know, you can just leave it sitting and work away with it. It gives a nice kind of fan opening. So this is exactly what I was looking for. I might change the angle of that camera a little bit. So yes, sits nice and wide and open like that, and we can see straight into it. So the first thing that I have access to when I open it, well, it's quite accessible. Everything is really accessible. So gloves in here, blacklit, like I have little disposable gloves. That's probably most likely if I'm treating someone else rather. But the first thing that I take out is the burn plasters and the burn dressing, because when you're out camping, you're handling firewood. I don't cook on a fire all the time. I have a little camping gas stove, so just in case I might accidentally or out of necessity have to grab something like the metal pot that I boil the water in, or the little burner itself, or on the fire accidentally put your hand down on a stove. Very useful items to have. This I know from past experience. In particular, just these things from like I've kind of given myself blisters along my fingers and my hands, and it just saved the day having a few of these specific burn plaster items. The next item then is our hand wipes. These small pack of 10. They're really convenient just to clean up an area, clean up your hands before you're working on something. Like that, if I was putting on the burn dressing and I had ash or soot all over my hand, I'd be trying to get it cleaned up as well with these antibacterial hand wipes. Okay, next thing then I have is arnica cream. I've got myself a lovely, nice little small bottle of it. I have been carrying one. This is 30ml, but I've been carrying like a 250ml bottle of it. Really useful for like if you're hiking and you just thump it's bruising, you know, so if you thump your knee. Like one night I was out camping and I went to get out of the tent and kneed a stone with my knee as I was crawling out. Just hit a belt on it and put on this arnica cream and I was good to go. It was all good. It works. I find it really good. Little bottle of that. So that's not first aid. It's not emergency first aid, but it is something that would make a big difference in you comfortably getting home or suffering significantly as you get home. So that's the arnica cream. Tiny scissors for cutting up plasters and stuff like that. Yeah, I love them. They're great. I mean, they'll do all sorts of jobs for you, so it's always handy to have. And they're like titchy, so I have them in the little packet. But yeah, I want to keep it in the packet out of convenience. Tweezers. Again, it's not something that you can call a first aid, but for pulling out splinters when you're chopping timber, if you've been breaking twigs and you happen to have a little like axe with you and you're cutting up pieces of timber, but you can do that. Like you can carry a small axe and you can go out 2 days walk and then you get a splinter in your finger. The only remedy for a splinter in your finger is the most efficient one is getting a tweezers and pulling it out, and these are nice and pointy. So they have been with me for a long time, those particular the tweezers. This is your conforming bandage is what this one's called. So it's just it's a bandage, it's a rolled up bandage, and it'll hold on a dressing. If you need to wrap if you've gotten a bad enough of an injury, you have a large dressing on it. And I have this large dressing. I've just got the one. If you've done enough of an injury to yourself, I would be probably taking a strip off of one of my clothes, t-shirts or shirts or something like that, and getting myself, this will be only if I need stitches and I want to keep it covered and clean until I can get stitches on it, and then you're wrapping the conforming bandage, as it's called, around it. This is a little trade, I don't want to call it a trade secret or whatever. Are you going to focus for me? Hopefully it's Rescue Remedy. There we go, with a little focus on it. I keep this smaller bottle because I usually buy them by like the gallon. No, I'm joking. I just top up this bottle with like, keep it half full at all times. This is for shock and anxiety and stress, and if you injure yourself, this would be really helpful just to keep your head calm. Or if you come across someone who's had, like, you could even, like, someone with a severe break or something like that and they're far from getting help, so a couple of hours, Rescue Remedy, it just helps with all sorts, and it's easy to carry, so I keep it with me for just mental issues. So as I was saying, burns and the little burn plasters in particular just keep me comfortable as I'm getting going. And my secondary priority then, the other problem that I've had previously is eye wounds. Like, I don't know if it's just because I'm left-handed or something, but I can stab myself in the eye very easily with like a twig or a branch or something like that wandering through the trees. I just don't see it and it comes up and I get a poke in the eye. So thankfully I've never had to deal with a severe eye injury, but I have eye wash, and I also have in my little baggie, which is now falling over because it's not full enough at all, the little gauze. You can, so if you've kind of injured it severely enough, you'll wash it out and stick your eye gauze in it and get a bandage over it. That's where your plasters will come in. Stick it, or you can glue your eye shut, which I'm joking. This is super glue Is it upside down? That way maybe it makes more sense. I don't know. Super glue for gluing your eye shut. I'm joking. I just have it in the same pouch because it sits in nicely with the bottles. I have actually used super glue for sometimes for a wound. If it's in a really tricky spot, like getting a cut in here and stuff like that, you can't keep a bandage on it to protect it, and it's getting like they get nuisancey. They get nuisancey and they get irritated, and I have put super glue on them just to get me home. But I use this for fillings and teeth. You know, if someone has even just eating at the campsite, or you know you're a day or two's walk from home, just super glue to put back on a filling. Or I usually only use it for crowns and fillings. I don't know how it would work if you actually chipped an actual piece of tooth. Whether you should do it or not, don't ask. This is for my own use, and I'll use it to stick a filling back in place just so I can get back to where I can get professional help. And it does also help with wounds. Now down to the nitty gritty bits. I have a pair of gloves and I have cable ties, because anything can be solved with cable ties. I'm joking, but you could use cable ties. Safety pins I don't trust entirely in these situations, but if someone needed a limb to be supported and you couldn't, I'm thinking here I'll manufacture a triangle bandage out of whatever items of clothing or items we have around the place. In our kit, in our camping kit, we'll have lots of other stuff with us. So I'll be manufacturing that, and maybe the cable ties will help just to cinch your corner closed, or you know, make something that's not quite close, like to get them to reach together and make it a bit more sturdy. And in this final little compartment here, I have these are alcohol prep pads. There we go. You can prep an area with those too if you need to. That is the piece that I am still missing from this new kit. The reason why I kind of went and freshened up my kit is all of the ointment sachets and iodine sachets are all gone now. They've all used up, and the only stuff I could get in my local chemist was the alcohol prep pads. So I'm going to go online. They've just told me just buy another first aid kit for like 15 euros, 20 euros, which doesn't have all of this stuff that I need in the right quantities I needed. So I may actually have to hit for the internet to get what I need. I do try and shop local. I'm that person that buys everything in the local town. Band-aids, plaster band-aids, yeah. I was saying I would plan to use these to put the eye gauze, to tape the eye gauze to the eye. They'll be they're nice, like sized around the face, or just for whatever cuts, if you've got cuts that you need to keep protected. And then like my favorite type of band-aid is the long one that you cut up yourself to the size you want. This is just the stuff for me. I find that I reach for this most of the time, so I have a length of it with me. And last, but I feel like one of the most important things, and things that I could forget, particularly when you're on a camping trip, you're not looking at yourself, but you are. Like if I was trying to take out a splinter out of my eye, or take care of my eyes, or do anything on my own face, and I was out camping by myself, a little mirror like this will be the exact thing I need to get me through. So that is the first aid kit for camping solo. Let me know what you think of this kit. It is personalized to my experiences and what I've had to deal with in the past, and what I anticipate I'll have to deal with in the future. I haven't included a tourniquet because the last 3 or 4 first aid courses I've done, they did not train us on tourniquet use, and they've changed the way the CPR works also. We don't do the 2 breaths anymore. It's just the chest compressions, stay compressing the chest. That was the new training that I got, and they don't show us how to use a tourniquet. I haven't been shown how to use a tourniquet in 10 years, in Ireland anyways. So I see them in a lot of first aid kits, but never seen one in person, never used one on a person, and haven't been trained how to use one. So we're taught compression, and in that situation I'll be grabbing a t-shirt out of my handbag, probably the towel, the microfiber towel that I carry with me, and that will be my compression band. I would love some feedback on whether you think a tourniquet is something to include in a first aid kit for yourself. I wonder. That is the one thing I have a feeling that will come up, may come up as a question. Other than the tourniquet, I can't think of anything maybe that I should include. I've thought about it over the course of the past week when I prepared the kit, and just kind of added on the bits that oh yes, I'll bring that, and yes, I need gloves and stuff. What else would I add to the kit, and what do you think that was in this kit that you would include in your kit from now on? Something I see a lot of people not including is the eye stuff, the stuff for your eyes, and I think that's a mistake, and it should be added in. And probably the burn plasters as well. I see a lot of people with burn dressings, but I suppose I'm looking at the fact that you probably are several hours away from like anyone with a first aid experience or getting an ambulance to you when you're up camping, and it might be 4 or 5 a.m. the sun is up, you're making a fire and you burn yourself, or like something gets in your eye. That's all. I'm not like I know everything about. I certainly don't. I don't know everything. So would love to know what you think of the first aid kit, and if you have any suggestions, as I said already. And also, do please subscribe to this channel. I'm having a lot of fun putting out these videos. They are kind of connected to my other channel and those videos, but I don't want that to be a gear channel. I really want it to be about the adventures in the outdoors. But I like having this conversation too, especially where I'm a beginner to this whole prep EDC organization, and I find that it has made my camping experiences a lot more enjoyable and kind of stress-free, because I have been organizing myself, and I just want this to be shared with Ireland and UK people who are also in the beginner stages, and I hope you can get some benefit out of this. So if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one.